Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that affects every single one of us, every single day: economics. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Economics. Isn't that just a bunch of boring charts and complicated jargon? And honestly, a lot of the time you're not wrong. But what if I told you that understanding a few key economic ideas could completely change the way you see the world, make decisions, and even live your life? Today, I'm sharing my top 5 economics books that I believe will do just that. These aren't your dusty old textbooks. These are brilliant, engaging, and mind-bending reads that make complex ideas feel simple and, dare I say, exciting. Whether you're a complete beginner or you've dabbled in the subject before, I promise there's something here for you. So grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's talk about the books that will rewire your brain. First up on our list, and for a very good reason, is The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. If you only read one book from this entire list, make it this one. Housel's core message is powerful and surprisingly simple. Doing well with money has less to do with how smart you are and a lot more to do with how you behave. It's not about complex financial models. It's about your mindset, your ego, your patience, and your priorities. Housel tells fascinating stories about real people and their relationships with money. He shows us that even financial geniuses can go broke because of their emotional biases, while ordinary people can build incredible wealth through discipline and common sense. He talks about the difference between being rich and being wealthy. Being rich is your current income, a visible status, but being wealthy is what you don't sit, the money not spent, the assets working for you in the background. It's the freedom and control over your time that true wealth provides. One of my favorite concepts from the book is the idea that we all have a different experience with money based on when and where we grew up. Someone who lived through the Great Depression will have a completely different view on risk than someone who grew up during the dot-com boom. This simple insight helps you understand not only your own financial behavior but also why other people make the money decisions they do. The Psychology of Money is less of an economics book and more of a life-changing guide to understanding your own behavior. It's a must-read. Next on the list is a true classic that turned economics upside down. Freakonomics, A Rogue Economist Explores the Hidden Side of Everything by Stephen Levitt and Stephen Dubner. This book is the definition of fun, disruptive, and eye-opening. The whole premise is that economics is at its heart, the study of incentives. If you can figure out what motivates people, you can understand and even predict their behavior in almost any situation. Levitt and Dubner use this lens to explore a wild range of topics you'd never connect with economics. They ask questions like, what do school teachers and sumo wrestlers have in common? How is the Ku Klux Klan like a group of real estate agents? Why do drug dealers still live with their moms? The answers are always surprising and backed by data. For example, they famously argued that the drop in crime in the 1990s was linked to the legalization of abortion decades earlier, controversial but data-driven theory that forces you to think differently. What Freakonomics does so brilliantly is show you that the tools of economic thinking can be applied to literally everything. It teaches you to question conventional wisdom, to look for the hidden incentives driving people's actions, and to follow the data, even when it leads to uncomfortable conclusions. It's a book that will make you feel smarter, more observant, and more skeptical in the best possible way. After reading it, you'll start seeing the world through a Freakonomics lens, constantly asking, what's the real incentive here? It's a game changer for your critical thinking skills. Coming in at number 3 is a book that might feel a bit more traditional, but its impact is just as profound. The Undercover Economist by Tim Harford. If you've ever wondered why your morning coffee costs what it does, or why you can never find a cheap apartment in the city, this book is for you. Harford is like a detective going undercover into our everyday lives to expose the economic principles that play all around us. He has this amazing ability to take a complex topic like scarcity, pricing power, or market failure and explain it using simple, relatable examples. He walks you through a coffee shop and breaks down every element of its price, from the rent of the building to the power of the brand on the cup. He explains why some countries are rich and others are poor by looking at the institutions and systems that either help or hinder growth. My favorite chapter is where he explains game theory through the lens of a government auction for mobile phone frequencies. It sounds complicated, but he makes it a thrilling story of strategy, bluffing, and outsmarting the competition. The Undercover Economist equips you with a foundational toolkit for understanding the modern world. It demystifies the headlines and gives you the confidence to understand the economic forces shaping your job, your city, and your life. It's the perfect book for anyone who wants a solid, accessible introduction to the big ideas of economics without the headache of a textbook. Our 4th book is a monumental work that tackles one of the biggest questions of all: why nations fail, the origins of power, prosperity, and poverty by Daron Acemoglu and James Robinson. This is definitely the most ambitious and academic book on our list, but don't let that intimidate you. The core idea is compelling and surprisingly straightforward. The authors argue that the massive differences in wealth and poverty around the world are not due to geography, culture, or ignorance. They are due to politics and man-made institutions. They divide institutions into 2 types, inclusive and extractive. Inclusive economic institutions, like strong property rights, the rule of law, and fair competition, allow and encourage people to participate in economic activity. They create a virtuous cycle of innovation and investment, leading to prosperity. Think of South Korea. On the other hand, extractive institutions are designed to extract wealth from one part of society to benefit a small elite. They create a vicious cycle of poverty and stagnation. Think of North Korea. The book is filled with fascinating historical case studies, from the Roman Empire and Mayan city-states to modern-day Botswana and Sierra Leone, all used to prove their central thesis. Why Nations Fail is a powerful and, at times, sobering read. It challenges simplistic explanations for global inequality and forces you to see how deeply politics and economics are intertwined. It gives you a grand framework for understanding world history and current events. After reading it, you will never look at a news story about a developing country or a political conflict in the same way again. It's a book that expands your perspective from the personal to the global. Finally, we have Nudge, Improving Decisions About Health, Wealth, and Happiness by Richard Toller and Cass Sunstein. This book is the perfect follow-up to The Psychology of Money because it takes the idea of our irrational behavior one step further and asks, how can we design better systems to help us make better choices? Toller, a Nobel laureate, and Sunstein introduced the concept of choice architecture. The idea is that the way choices are presented to us significantly influences the decisions we make. They argue that we're not always rational beings. We're easily influenced, we procrastinate, and we often take the path of least resistance. A nudge is a small, subtle change in the environment that encourages people to make a particular choice without taking away their freedom to choose otherwise. For example, making organ donation the default option on a driver's license application dramatically increases donation rates. Putting healthy food at eye level in a cafeteria makes people more likely to choose it. Automatically enrolling employees in a retirement savings plan while allowing them to opt out massively boosts savings rates. Nudge is full of these clever, practical examples. It's a deeply optimistic book because it shows that by understanding our own psychological quirks, we can design smarter defaults and better environments for ourselves and for society. It will make you look at everything from website layouts to government policies in a new light. It's a book that empowers you to not only improve your own life through small nudges but also to think about how we can build a better, smarter, and healthier world. So there you have it, my top 5 economics books that will change your life. From understanding your own mind with The Psychology of Money to seeing hidden incentives with Freakonomics to demystifying the world with The Undercover Economists to grasping global inequality with Why Nations Fail, and finally to designing better choices with Nudge. Each of these books offers a unique and powerful lens for viewing the world. I truly believe that reading even one of them will give you a huge advantage in understanding the complex world we live in. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these, or if you have any other recommendations you'd add to the list. I love discovering new books. Thanks so much for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content like this. See you in the next one.